So the Democrats have finally gotten to the point where they stated that they're going to impeach Donald Trump. Now, they've been talking about that for a long time. You know, the words have been floating around about impeachment. We know people like Al Green right here in Houston, you know, he don't do anything, but he definitely can say impeach Donald Trump. That's just always interesting to me. But they state that he was on a phone call. This is, like I said, alleged, because I haven't seen all the evidence with that yet. He's on a phone call with the president of Ukraine, and he was allegedly asking the president of Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden's son. Now, Donald Trump came out and said he didn't say anything like that. He said he would be willing to put out the conversation. But Nancy Pelosi says she's moving forward with impeachment proceedings. I want you to go ahead and hear exactly what she's going to say, and let's go ahead and really talk about it.
The Intelligence Community Inspector General, who was appointed by President Trump, determined that the complaint is both of urgent concern and credible. And its disclosure, he went on to say, relates to one of the most significant and important of the Director of National Intelligence's responsibility to the American people. On Thursday, the Inspector General testified before the House Intelligence Committee, stating that the acting Director of National Intelligence blocked him from disclosing the whistleblower complaint. This is a violation of law. The law is unequivocal. The DNI staff, it says the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, shall provide Congress the full whistleblower complaint. For more than 25 years, I've served on the Intelligence Committee as a member, as the ranking member, as part of the Gang of Four, even before I was in the leadership. I was there when we created the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. That did not exist before 2004. I was there even earlier in the 90s when we wrote the whistleblower laws and continue to write them to improve them to ensure the security of our intelligence and the safety of our whistleblowers. I know what their purpose was, and we proceeded with balance and caution as we wrote the laws. I can say with authority the Trump administration's actions undermine both our national security and our intelligence and our protections of the whistleblowers, more than both. This Thursday, the acting DNI will appear before the House Intelligence Committee. At that time, he must turn over the whistleblower's full complaint to the committee. He will have to choose whether to break the law or honor his responsibility to the Constitution. On the final day of the Constitutional Convention in 1787, when our Constitution was adopted, Americans gathered on the steps of Independence Hall to await the news of the government our founders had crafted. They asked Benjamin Franklin, "What do we have, a republic or a monarchy?" Franklin replied, "A republic if you can keep it. Our responsibility is to keep it." Our republic endures because of the wisdom of our Constitution, enshrined in three co-equal branches of government, serving as checks and balances on each other. The actions taken to date by the President have seriously violated the Constitution, especially when the President says, Article 2 says I can do whatever I want. For the past several months, we have been investigating in our committees and litigating in the courts, so the House can gather all the relevant facts and consider whether to exercise its full Article 1 powers, including a constitutional power of the utmost gravity, approval of articles of impeachment. And this week, the President has admitted to asking the President of Ukraine to take actions which would benefit him politically. The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the President's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections. Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. I'm directing our 6 committees to proceed with their investigations under that umbrella of impeachment inquiry. The President must be held accountable. No one is above the law. Getting back to our founders, In the darkest days of the American Revolution, Thomas Paine wrote, "The times have found us. The times found them to fight for and establish our democracy. The times have found us today, not to place ourselves in the same category of greatness as our founders, but to place us in the urgency of protecting and defending our Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic." In the words of Ben Franklin, to keep our republic. I thank our chairman, Chairman Nadler, Chairman Schiff, Chairman Nadler of Judiciary, Chairman Schiff of Intelligence, Chairman Engel of Foreign Affairs, Chairman Cummings of Oversight, and Chairman Cummings I've been in touch with constantly. He's a master of so much, but including inspectors general and whistleblowers. Congresswoman Richie Neal of the Ways and Means Committee, Congresswoman Maxine Waters of the Foreign Financial Services Committee. And I commend all of our members, our colleagues, for their thoughtful approach to all of this, for their careful statements. God bless them, and God bless America. Thank you all.
Madam Speaker.
So the Democrats are going to push for impeachment of Donald Trump. Just a few questions that I have personally. So this was the stick that broke the camel's back? Out of all the things Donald Trump has done in the past, this is it. I would thought y'all would choose something a lot better. And Nancy has been holding out all this time not to impeach. Like, why are you trying to do it now? My thing with this, personally, how I feel about this impeachment, I feel that they cannot beat Donald Trump in 2020. So they say, let's try to impeach Donald Trump. So if we impeach him, he can't run again in 2020. That's the kind of strategy that I'm seeing, because the people that you have as the front runners are no goals for me, and definitely a lot of no goals for a lot of black Americans. And you need 80% of the black vote to even win a presidency. And I don't even see you getting that at all. Matter of fact, black Americans have been so upset with your party. They have been saying over and over and over, and I've been hearing this, and I'm quite shocked about the second thing I'm going to tell you. They've been saying either they're going to sit at home, or a lot of them saying they're actually going to go out and vote for Trump just to spite the Democrats. Black people are even saying that now. That's how pissed off they are with the Democrat Party. You understand? All the issues and problems that we have, and you can care less about black folks. But you won't sit up here and say, I'm going to impeach Donald Trump. For what? I don't really get it. You mean to tell me you can't run a campaign and beat him next year? That's what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't make sense at the timing of you doing this. Y'all been mad ever since Hillary Clinton lost that election. She lost. She didn't run a good campaign. That's just a reality. She didn't. Donald Trump went to more states than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton thought that she could use Jay-Z and all these other ones to speak for her, all her celebrity friends. And that still did not work. She did not win. Now, you could say Russian interference or whatever else, but if you have the votes, how much could you really interfere? You say misinformation. Well, if you're putting out the right information, then how people can have misinformation? You get what I'm saying? So they've been saucy ever since Hillary Clinton lost. Every time you look up, you're trying to, bring up impeachment. Now, when it comes to Donald Trump and the things that he do, of course, people that listen to this platform long enough, I don't vote for no Republicans. I don't vote for no Democrats. I am a person that say I am independent. So my votes align with my values. And so whoever have my values and my agenda, which is the black agenda, in place, that's who I will go with. I'm faithful to no party. Let's call it what it is. Yes, we've seen Donald Trump pull a lot of antics. Yes, we've seen Donald Trump's racism. But what's coming from the Democrats these days is worse off than what Donald Trump got going on. I mean, seriously, it is bad what I'm seeing coming across. And they just have this vitriol against black Americans. They really do. I mean, man, like, I don't even see Trump with that kind of vitriol against black people. They don't want to talk about no issues of black Americans, none. Now they're screaming about climate change. They didn't put this, child up to speak for them. I mean, I guess they moved past the other little girl that was speaking for them about the guns. Now they moved to this other child. I'm just noticing a pattern with that. I mean, with children that could be maybe want to speak out for something, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. But y'all do what y'all do. But I just think it's all strange. If you impeach him in the House, he's not going to be removed from office because Mitch McConnell's not going to, and the Republicans not going to let it happen. So you just have an impeachment in the House. Impeachment don't mean that he's removed from office. It doesn't mean that. And even when you come back to people like Richard Nixon, he resigned. He wasn't like impeached to the point they removed him out of office. And so how I feel personally, if the Democrats go through with this impeachment proceeding, you're guaranteeing Donald Trump to win because the majority of the country don't want impeachment. They still on that. There's some people that want it, but it's not the majority. It's not 75% of the country saying, yeah, we need to get rid of Donald Trump. They're not with it. So all you're going to do is piss people off that probably would have voted. All you're going to do is piss people off that probably wouldn't just vote at all. And now they're going to get involved in the process because they'll say, man, they're going too far. They don't have no candidates that can beat Donald Trump right now. They putting up in the front. And when I'm talking about the front, I mean Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe, Elizabeth, fake Native American that lied to people, Warren, Bernie, no reparation Sanders, Kamala Police Harris, people like that. They're putting up in the front, at least for right now. They can't beat Donald Trump. Not at all. None of them can. So they say, we're going to just pull our ace in the hole and use the impeachment process. That's going to backfire. Yeah, y'all just don't learn. Y'all don't learn. I mean, Nancy Pelosi just caved to that pressure, I guess. You saw with the Mueller report, y'all thought y'all had him dead to rights on that. And that was embarrassing for the Democrats. That embarrassed them. I mean, they just, yeah, we can't, Mueller go get them. Yes, a lot of people went down because they was doing wrong, but the one you were supposed to get was Trump, and he couldn't get him. The Mueller report was supposed to be the report they used to impeach Trump, and they could not do that. So now you're going to go with this. Yeah, I guess they just want to lose that election. I'm just using common sense on this one. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about the situation with Donald Trump and the Democrats with the impeachment. It's just amazing to me. And like I said, I say this all the time. A lot of these people that's over there in Washington need to go home with their grandkids. Lord, Nancy looked like she just struggling when she was up there talking. I don't know if it was some medication she was on or what. And that's not her first time sounding like that either. I don't know if she's taking something or maybe some pain meds or whatever. But Nancy, you another one. Go home with your grandkids. Oh, boy, I'm just shaking my head like y'all want to hold on to power. That's why this country cannot change.